Coach, you start with an opening statement.
Well, I could not be happier. Been doing this for 6 years, 27 years. And I know how difficult it is to advance to the Sweet 16 and then continue to move on. So for me, it's just a thrill. I also know what it means for our kids and what the next experience is. And so, again, just makes me so happy that for this group, how hard they've worked all season, they deserve to be in the Sweet 16, how well we played today in terms of work ethic, playing smart, taking advantage of what they were giving us. So for me, I just could not be happier in terms of the quality of the effort, the result, and that now we get to move on.
Defensively, another shutout. Pretty good offensive team, some good offensive players. For all three of you, what was the game plan and how did you execute it on defense?
I think defensively, something that helped us a lot today was reading those punts from the other keeper and starting a little farther back and having our defensive center mid, Kelsey, win those first balls was really key for us. In the past, we've let those balls bounce in the middle, and I think getting in for those 50-50s in the middle of the field was really where we won the game today.
The other piece I would say is that I felt like 1v1 defending was terrific today, as was the cover. So even when number 14, who's hugely talented, and or number 11, got free, we typically had cover, right? We were well prepared. We were ready to take on what they were bringing. So the game plan, which was our game plan, right, that we would give good cover. And the other critical piece to the puzzle was that we wanted to roll up and defend against them early, but the game became a 50-50, which is why Kelsey Moore winning those balls in the midfield. And then our teammates picking up a lot of the pieces was so critical. And then Katie Donovan, again, came up with 3 just, goal-saving saves in terms of, for that number 11 hit 2 bombs that were just ridiculous, and Katie came up huge. And I'm sure from your vantage point up high, I can hardly wait to see the video and see those saves, which in the first half were unbelievable. Let Sylph answer the offensive.
Oh, yeah. So I think attacking-wise, it wasn't our sharpest game when we started the game today, but we really want to set a standard of moving the ball around quickly, 1 and 2 touch, switching the field, and moving off the ball and looking for runners through. And we had to get a couple kinks out in the beginning, but I think we really started to find a rhythm towards the end of the second half. I think we have such a strong system, and when we play to the strength of our individual players, we are so effective as a whole. And I think the goals that we did score, our execution was good in those moments.
First goal, I thought a really good delivery by Claire Suter on the far side. I believe it was Claire. I'm 100% sure. Okay. What did you see on the play? I thought it was just a really good delivery.
Well, where we had found our most success was sort of with Caroline and Claire on that, on the outside, right, running at people. And then once we moved Caroline up front, she knew where the services were coming. And I mean, that finish from her, off her head into the, from where our vantage point on the bench, there was just, so clear that ball was going in the back of the net right from the get-go. It was an amazing serve, an amazing finish. It was great.
Yeah. I think one thing that's really good for us is that today and yesterday in our game, our goals were just amazing goals that came from either a great cross from the outside back or playing up through the middle and really playing our system, and goals that will work against harder teams as we move on. So I think that's exciting for us.
Yeah, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 people scoring too. It was all over the team. So that's really critical because we don't just rely on few players being our game players. I think we have a ton of depth, and that's going to be key going forward.
The wind was obviously a bit of a factor today, so how crucial was it to get that second goal right before the break and kind of put them in a hole, and then you're able to pretty much dominate possession for the second half?
Well, it changed the whole dynamic. It changed the halftime talk. It changed your, sort of your tactics for the second half. Now we're completely different because you could play a little slower. You could allow the game to sort of play out killing it minute by minute versus thinking, all right, we need to, we just got to play straight up and get another goal. Yeah, it was huge. And, I felt like we had a goal called back that should have been a goal. I'm looking forward to looking at the video, but I don't think we were offsides on that goal that got pulled back. And, so I think we had lots of chances. So it was just great that Vera, who just was, made a great near post run and was able to bury it. But I think that changed the whole dynamic of the game, for sure.
Yeah, completely. I mean, Adriana is such a hard worker, and she just knows how to bust through things, I think, and sometimes she just puts everything else aside and she just goes hard to goal, and that's one of her strengths. And for us to put one away before half was huge. I mean, had it been 1-0, even 2-0, it's not a walk-through by that point, so we still have to keep pushing, but definitely gives you a little bit more freedom to play more relaxed and calm instead of being able to push and potentially be exposed in the second half, so it's key.
For all three of you, round of 16 is Thomas More College. I don't know if you had a chance to think about it at all. Any initial thoughts on advancing and facing a top 5 team in Thomas More?
Revenge.
Yeah, well, I think our first thought is they kicked us out
Yeah.
of the tournament last year, so I think we're all super excited to get to play them and get some revenge. We're hoping to be home, but if we have to go there, we're ready for it. And yeah, the whole team is so excited and so deserving of this, and we're just ready to keep going and play our own game.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas More obviously is a quality opponent. They haven't lost this year, right? Playing there is always a bit of a challenge just because their fans are, loud, and they got lots of them. And I mean, it certainly is there's a home field advantage for them playing there. But I feel like for us, we played 2 games there last year. We certainly competed against them last year in terms of the game. So I don't know that we go in with as much. We never played them before. I think it would be different. But at least we have a sense. We have a sense of how they like to play. We certainly have a sense of the field. And I think it obviously will be a huge matchup. Very exciting. It's the other beauty of the UAA, right? This will not be the first time that we've seen a top 10 team, we played Carnegie Mellon, we played WashU, we played Brandeis, we've been battle tested, which is great, So.
All right.
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yep.